All right, let's call this meeting to order. October 19th, 2021. The time is now 6:30. Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Mayor Mahoney.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Ott. Here. Trustee Jeffrey.
Here.
Trustee Westcott.
Here.
Trustee White.
Here.
Trustee Cohen.
Here.
Thank you.
All right. And approval of the agenda. Do we have a motion?
Second.
I move to approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
All right. Motion and roll call, please.
Trustee Cohen.
Yes.
Trustee Ott.
Yes.
Trustee White.
Yes.
Mayor Mahoney.
Yes.
Trustee Jeffrey.
Yes.
Trustee Westcott.
Yes.
Right. And did we have any public comments? Okay.
No, we did not.
And nothing online? Okay, great. Thank you.
No.
All right. And for the benefit of the audience, next item is the consent agenda. On the consent agenda is the payment approval report in the amount of $192,521.80, as well as the October 5th, 2021 minutes. Do we have a motion?
I move to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Jeffrey.
Yes.
Mayor Mahoney.
Yes.
Trustee Westcott.
Yes.
Trustee Cohen.
Yes.
Trustee White.
Yes.
Trustee Ott.
Aye.
Thank you.
All right. And financials, Ms. Rademacher.
Good evening, Mayor and trustees. Before you, you have the September 30th, 2021 financial statement. If you have any questions, I can answer those at this time. I usually do a quarterly update, and that will be at the November meeting. At that point, I'll have the sales tax for the month of September. It doesn't, there's a 2-month delay always on that. So I wait until that comes in, and then I'll do a quarterly report and give you an update on how everything is looking at that point in time. At this point in the year, since we've done the budget and the forecasting and things like that, it's going to be a lot of the same information, which is a good thing. So that'll be in November. And I thought I would just tell you briefly a little bit about what we're working on right now. I'm wrapping up the Coronavirus Relief Fund. It has to be expended by the end of this year, by December 31st. And so we're getting those funds spent on eligible items. I'm working on trying to figure out how to do the ARP reporting. That's the American Rescue Plan. Doing the reporting through the Treasury Department, which is kind of a feat in and of itself. We got the new budgeting software. It became effective October 1 that we were able to use the software. So I'm trying to get up to speed on how that works and taking some webinars and things on being able to get that implemented. We are working on a purchasing policy that we hope to have before you at the November meeting also. Today, staff met to update our fee schedule, which hasn't had a true update in about 10 years. I think there was an attempt made in around 2018, but it wasn't finalized. So staff is working on getting all of our fees updated, which is long overdue at this point. So the other thing is I'll be once again doing some more reforecasting and getting the final budget prepared in November for that December 7th meeting in which you will approve the budget for the year. And then the cycle starts all over again, and I start with year end and audit. So, gone full circle, and it seems like it was just yesterday when I was doing the audit preparation and presentation to you all. So it's starting all over again. But so that's just a wrap up of what I'm doing right now, and then next month I'll give you a full report on the finances.
Okay. Thank you. Any questions or comments? All right, seeing none, then we'll move on. Thank you very much. Next item is board member appointments. Mr. McBroom.
Thank you, Mayor. There are 3 important appointments listed on the agenda tonight. The first one is probably the most important of those 3, and I would suggest that you take that one first. So there is a vacancy on the board. At the last board meeting, board members had asked me to reach out to those who had expressed interest the last time there was a vacancy on the board earlier this year. 2 of the 3 folks who expressed interest are here tonight, I believe, although I've not met you gentlemen. I believe Jeremy and Walter are here because they are both interested in the vacant board seat. I would suggest handling that appointment first, and then I could talk a little bit more about the other 2. The last time the board filled a vacant seat, we suggested that you hear from each applicant, ask them any questions you'd like to ask, open the floor for nominations to see if one or both, if current board members wish to nominate one or both applicants, then close nominations and vote on those applicants who've been nominated. I think that's a good process. It served you well last time, and that would be our recommendation for how to proceed. I'll ask Ms. Duran if she has anything else she would like to add.
I forgot how to do that on mute. Good evening, everybody. Thanks for letting me zoom in. I had a little car trouble today. I think that's a perfectly fine process that worked for us the last time. If the board's comfortable with that, that process is certainly acceptable to me.
All right. Thank you, Maureen. And I'm just going to give you a hard time because, you know, all that big attorney money, you should have throwaway cars. You know, you should just have extra ones. Oh, you're driving British cars. That's the problem. Okay, never mind.
I think a couple of you have some extra cars you can donate to me, so.
Yeah, I'll loan you the Batmobile. You got to put on the Batman costume and then. All right. With that, we'll move on to. Did you have anything else? Oh, okay. If we could have one of the applicants, Jeremy, if you would step up to the podium, give us your name and address, and then.
Can I take this off? Okay. Jeremy Kovenchik is my name. I live at 1209 Brio Street, Silver Peak subdivision.
All right. Anyone have any questions? No? Well, other than, what?
I was gonna ask what are your qualifications what have you done in public service, if at all, before?
Well, for the past 6 years, I've been a code enforcement inspector with the city of Longmont. So I've attended a lot of board meetings. Prior to that, I was a homeowner association community manager. Again, a lot of meetings, budgets, Robert's rule, all sorts of good meeting experience. So, yes, sir.
Why would you like to serve on our board?
Well, I believe that everybody should do their part to better their community, and I think this would be a good role for me to step up and do that.
Anyone else? Oh, go ahead.
So what would you say would be like your big priority as a member of the board?
Well, I think that, and then just helping the town grow and be prosperous.
Yep. I think that's what most of us want to do. That's why we're on here. We care about our community and want to give back, make sure it grows in the right way. Did you have anything else you want to relate? No?
No, sir.
Okay. Anyone else? No? Thank you. You can go ahead and
Turn
have a
this off
seat.
or leave it
No,
on?
you can leave it on. You can leave it on for right now. And Walter Van Loo, please state your name and address for the record.
Hello, everybody. I'm Walter Van Loo, Senior SharePoint Administrator for the City and County of Denver, so I'm kind of know a bit about government. That's it.
Yeah, and we're going to ruin all of that.
Yep.
Everything you thought you knew, Questions or comments?
I would say again. Why are you interested in being on the town board?
Well, I like being on the board at Bella Vista, and I want to kind of grow from there, see what I can do to help the town. And I'm interested to see how we're planning to grow.
Okay, Dave?
What did you say you did for the city of Denver?
I'm the senior SharePoint administrator.
Okay, and what exactly does that
Okay,
entail?
computer geek.
Okay.
I run the intranet for
Okay.
the city of Denver.
All right, thank
And
you.
I'm the senior, and I'm also the only SharePoint administrator.
Well, I'd pose the same question then. What
Okay.
would be your priority as a board member?
Well, to get up to speed as quickly as possible, and then help out where I can, kind of like everybody else wants to. I just want to do, what I can, where I can, how I can.
Okay. Anyone else? No? And I don't have anything. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Right. What's that? Yeah, one year.
1 year.
Yeah.
I assume you've both been residents for over a year? Yes, sir. Okay.
Okay. All right. With that, I will entertain motions. Go ahead.
So the first motions would be to nominate one or both gentlemen. So I would suggest doing nominations first and then close nominations and vote on those who've been nominated.
I move to nominate both the candidates and let the board decide who's the best.
I'll second that.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Ott,
Yes?
Mayor Mahoney,
Yes.
Trustee White, Trustee Westcott,
Yes.
Trustee Jeffrey,
Yes.
Trustee Cohen.
Yes.
And motion carries. All right. Are there any other?
Now that both have been nominated, now somebody could make a motion to appoint one of those that have been nominated.
I make a motion to appoint Jeremy.
Please give us full name.
I don't know how to pronounce the last say it for me. Kovenchik. I move to appoint Jeremy Kovenchik. Not my dad's
Second.
brother.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Jeffrey,
I'm going to say no because I know the other candidate.
Trustee Westcott,
So I've had opportunities to interact with both of these gentlemen, and I think they both would do a fine job. I guess if I had to pick, I feel like it's sort of like, it's a hard choice. But I do know that right now we have 3 members of the board who are representatives from the Silver Peak subdivision. And there's only 1 from Bella Vista, I believe. So I think that would just throw my vote to Mr. Van Loo, just because he would present a different perspective.
So Trustee Westcott, your vote then I think would be no for Mr. Kovenchik?
Yes, that's correct.
Trustee White,
Yes.
Mayor Mahoney,
Yeah, yes. Yeah.
Trustee Cohen,
Yes.
Trustee Ott,
Yes?
All right, and motion carries 4-2. I wanted to turn my microphone off and just not work anymore. I keep turning it off. Go ahead.
So that would mean then, because the vote to appoint Mr. Kovenchik has passed, Mr. Kovenchik has now been appointed to the board. So the next step then would be to swear in Mr. Kovenchik, and acting Town Clerk Sanchez is ready to do that.
Step up and swear in, and in a few days, you'll start getting sworn at.
Day, all day.
I'm gonna read.
Okay? I, Jeremy Kovenchik, do swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of Colorado, and the laws of the State of Colorado, and of the Town of Lochbuie. And I will faithfully perform the duties of office of trustee, of which I'm, wait, it's different than what you said. Does that matter? Of the office of trustee upon which I'm about to enter, to the best of my ability.
All right, welcome.
Walter, thank you for your interest. We really
Yes.
appreciate it.
Yes,
It's
thank
nice to have more than one person interested in these
And
positions.
please don't lose.
Yeah, don't lose your interest.
Yeah, that's right, huh? November next year. Yeah, there will be a seat open here to my right in November of next year.
Next year. Get the jump ship.
So come on up, have a seat, and ride the wave with us. Let's see, Coach. All right. Oh, go ahead.
I just want to welcome the new trustee and offer out to him that there's matters on the agenda tonight that he may feel he's ready to vote on, and there's matters that he may not feel prepped enough to vote on. We will defer to him on that decision, but no, don't feel pressured tonight to vote on anything since you didn't probably get a chance to look at a packet and get any advance information. And then also just to offer, I'd love to meet up with you over the next maybe couple of meetings in advance of the meeting and give you a little bit of 101 training.
Yeah, because unfortunately you did miss out on CML this year, and I will tell you, next year, by all means, attend CML. The classes and the courses there are great for new board members. You'll garner so much information from there that'll help you in doing this job, especially. So, and welcome, and thank you, Maureen, and we will move forward. All right, now we're going for the board member appointment to Dr. Cog. Want to run with that, or shall we just throw somebody's name in the hat?
There's a bit of information in the packet. Of course, Dr. Cog has a long history. Whoever's appointed, there is a bit of a learning curve. We'll work closely with you. The main thing to be aware of is the 2 meetings a month that you would be committing to. Or right now, those meetings are all held virtually, which is a big advantage. When the meetings are held in person, they're in downtown Denver. So that's not an easy trek at rush hour twice a month. But for now, the meetings are held virtually, and that would be the most important thing to be aware of. If you were appointed, you would be expected to attend both of those meetings.
All right.
I guess my question is, do we have anybody interested in it?
Beat me to the punch. Anyone have any interest in it?
I would
What are
add,
you doing later?
I would add to that, in my view, Dr. Cog's primary responsibility is to help prioritize transportation funding and transportation projects in the Denver area. We have transportation needs along the I-76 corridor. So if you have an interest in transportation or transportation funding, you would enjoy Dr. Cog, I think.
And the key to it is the 2 meetings a month and having the ability to make those, even though they are virtual. Go ahead.
When are the meetings?
There's one tomorrow at 6:30. I get all of those because I'm currently our alternate, And I do have it scheduled to attend tomorrow. If we don't have anybody make a decision, or if, the board asks me to step into that role, I'm prepared to attend the meeting tomorrow. But it's the third Wednesday of each month. And then at 6:30 PM, those are all virtual right now, and then a work session at 4 o'clock on the first Wednesday of each month. So they're on Wednesdays.
All right. Well, I'm not seeing any
And I'm going to
interest.
nominate trustee Jeffrey for the position.
I'll accept the nomination only because these days I'm really wishing we had public transportation to Greeley and back every day. Getting tired of that commute.
I was just looking over to make sure you didn't have any sharp implements to lean across and get
Give me a
Dave with.
Yeah, me too.
So, all right, well, he's made a nomination. Maybe. All right,
Cards will come this way.
and roll call, please.
Mayor Mahoney,
Yes.
Trustee White,
Yes.
Trustee Jeffrey,
Yes.
Trustee Ott,
Aye.
Trustee Cohen,
Yes.
Trustee Westcott,
Yes.
Trustee Kovensheck. Did I?
Yes.
All right, and well, you're official.
Now we need to appoint an alternate.
And, yeah, well, and that's just it. You want to be alternate?
Yeah.
Okay.
I move that we appoint Mayor Pro Tem Ott as the alternate to Dr. Cog.
Second.
All right, motion second, roll call, please.
Trustee Westcott,
Yes.
Trustee Ott,
Yes.
Trustee Cohen,
Yes.
Trustee Jeffrey,
Yes.
Mayor Mahoney,
Yes.
Trustee White,
Yes.
Trustee Kovensheck.
Yes.
Motion carries. Now you know what's going to happen. Trustee Jeffrey's going to resign, and then you're stuck.
Wait a minute. Are you
From
telling me
that- from
something I
that.
don't know?
From that. Okay, next item is the Southeast Weld Chamber of Commerce. Mr. McBroom?
The town is a member of the Southeast Weld Chamber of Commerce, and the board has traditionally appointed a liaison to interface with the chamber, represent the town at chamber events. I will ask Mayor Pro Tem Ott if there's anything else he could add in terms of responsibilities or obligations to the appointee.
The chamber normally has a luncheon meeting. It used to be at the hospital, but now it kind of rotates at Ben's Pizza and the hospital and different places. I believe it is the last Wednesday, or next to the last Wednesday of the month, I'd have to check. But it's normally a noon meeting, and they conduct business, they have a speaker. That's basically the meeting they have. And then once a year, there's a chamber banquet where they have nominations for the business of the year, business person of the year, that kind of stuff. And I just kind of had a falling out of the chamber over the lack of response to helping us for community days 2 years ago and this year. So I decide I'm going to step away from it before I say something I will regret, which I'm known to do. But I don't regret it.
Exactly, that's why. Yeah, that's the part I was questioning.
Yeah, there's no regret.
Yeah.
This is the program.
So, first of all, does anyone have any interest? Okay, so just need a nomination.
I move to nominate chamber representative.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Trustee White,
Yes.
Mayor Mahoney,
Yes.
Trustee Cohen,
Yes.
Trustee Ott,
Yes.
Trustee Westcott,
Yes.
Trustee Jeffrey,
Yes.
Trustee Kovensheck.
One is alternate if you want me to.
That's what I was gonna say, yeah, you can send her all the information,
Yeah.
like get her filled in on everything, so. And you're already the alternate
I'm
currently?
already the rep, so.
Oh, yeah, you're the rep, okay, someone needs to,
So I nominate Mayor Pro Tem Ott as the alternate for Southeast
Second.
Weld.
okay, roll call, please.
Mayor Mahoney,
Yes.
Trustee White,
Yes.
Trustee Ott,
Yes.
Trustee Cohen,
Yes.
Trustee Jeffrey,
Yes.
Trustee Westcott,
Yes.
Trustee Kovenshick.
Yes.
Thank you.
Motion carries. All right, and now we'll move on with other business, the opioid settlement. Mr. McBroom, such an exciting topic.
Thank you, Mayor. As I noted in the memo in the packet, several cities in the state, along with the Attorney General's office, participated in litigation against opioid manufacturers and distributors. In fact, several states across the country participated in the litigation. The state has reached a tentative settlement. It includes funds to help address the negative impacts of opioid abuse in the state of Colorado. To participate in using some of the funds from the settlement, cities and towns are asked to agree to sign on to a memorandum of understanding. I will have Ms. Duran add any additional details she would like. At the current time, we do not have a use for opioid settlement funds, but agreeing to the MOU would preserve our ability to access funds in the future. In addition, if a certain number of cities, towns, and counties throughout the state don't agree to the MOU, the state would not be eligible for its share of the settlement funds. And as I've noted in the packet, the funds are about $400 million distributed over an 18-year period. My rough math suggests that the town would be eligible between somewhere between $1 and $2 million over that 18-year period. So certainly, if the board were to agree to sign the MOU, we would begin to explore eligible uses for the funds that we could access over the next 18 years. Maureen's office has reviewed the MOU and I believe has also recommended that the board authorize the mayor to sign it.
That's correct, Mr. McBroom. Ms. Madsen from our office has been heavily involved in this matter, both for Lockbuoy and for other clients of the firm. She did speak with Ms. Rademacher, made sure everybody was aware that there are these limitations on use, but still believe it makes the most sense for the town to go ahead and participate and sign this MOU at this time. If the next question from you is how many dollars the town of Lockbuoy is going to be looking at, I'm trying to find that email. I can't find it right this second. It looks like he has left the room, but I will send you all out an email with what the dollars look like for the town after or even during the meeting. But regardless, it's in somewhere around the 10,000 range, roughly, I believe. And so it's something that there's really no downside to the town to participate in.
Okay, thank you. Any questions, comments? No, not seeing any. All right. Yeah.
I move to approve the State of Colorado Opioid Settlement Local Government Memorandum of Understanding and hereby authorize the mayor to sign the MOU.
Second.
Motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Trustee Kovenshick,
Yes.
Trustee Westcott,
Yes.
Trustee Cohen,
Yes.
Jeffrey,
Yes.
Mayor Mahoney,
Yes.
Trustee Ott,
Aye.
Trustee White.
Yes.
All right. Motion carries. The next item, we're just going to beat you up tonight there, Mr. McBroom. County Road 4.
As board members are aware, we need to make some repairs to County Road 4 in the area of an oil and gas facility on the western side of town. Normally, we would present a complete contract for you to authorize. The amount of the contract exceeds my authority to approve. However, we don't have the final bit of pricing from the contractor to be able to present to you a completed contract. So our request of you tonight is authorize us to move forward. We believe the total cost, I think I put in the packet less than $25,000. I actually believe it'll be less than $20,000. And then we will bring a completed contract back so the board can see all the detail at the November 16th meeting. Our goal would be to proceed, get the work under contract, and have it completed before the next meeting.
Okay. Any questions or comments?
It's really bad, so I really think we need to act on it with haste.
Yeah, that's a pretty spectacular hole over there. Somebody hits it and not watching, they will blow a tire or destroy a wheel.
Or get sucked into
And it's in the
borrow
ditch.
bit and roll, right?
Go ahead.
I just have a question that's more informational. So it says in the memo that the oil and gas facility traffic created a hazardous condition. Do they have any responsibility in terms of repairing that, or is that solely on us?
Great question. Because they are, the facility is in the county, but it accesses a road that's owned and maintained by the town, the operator has placed money on deposit for potential impact to the road. We have about $21,000 on deposit currently, so that should be enough to cover the work. We will then follow up with the operator to place additional funds on deposit in case there is additional damage to town roads.
So does that mean that they are going to pay for the repair out of, so we're going to pay for it out of the deposit money? Just want to be clear.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, anyone else? Okay. With that, I will, Mr. Kovacek, can you turn your microphone off? Thank you. Yeah, when she's speaking, that's one thing we figured out is we start interrupting with people that are on the line up there. Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
I move to authorize staff to enter into a contract with MC Paving for an emergency repair of WCR 4, WCR 33 at a not-to-exceed amount of $25,000. The final contract will be placed on the November 16th agenda for board ratification.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Westcott.
Yes.
Trustee Cohen.
Yes.
Jeffrey.
Yes.
Mayor Mahoney.
Yes.
Trustee Kovacek.
Yes.
Trustee Ott.
Yes.
Trustee White.
Yes.
And motion carries. And the next item, now we're going to pick on you. Water plant shutdown. You better have backup water for me.
Well, if you use water at 2:00 in the morning, you could be a little light on it. I come back to you. Remember in March, I came to you to shut the water plant down. So during the middle of the night, to facilitate some repairs that we have to do, we have 4 pumps that provide pressure to the system. They take water out of the tank and they pressurize the pipes out into the streets, things like that. And what happened was when the plant went under improvements and expansion in 2018, the engineer designed a chemical injection point that was on the suction side of those pumps. And what that did was it coated the inside of all the isolation valves in the pumps because it deposits where there's heavy, how should I say, turbulence from the pumps moving the water. So we couldn't do it in March because there were isolation valves that come from the tank that were leaking because they were installed 2003. So we had to back off, we had to fix those and replace those, which then allowed us to do 1 pump in July, which we really needed to. So we got that one finished. So now we have 3 more isolation valves and a brand new pump to replace one of the oldest pumps there. So what we would do is our main goal will be just to shut down and change out those isolation valves. So it should only take us a couple hours because there's 8 bolts on each valve, so it shouldn't take that much time. And if we have to.
Look me in the eyes and tell me it's only going to take a couple hours.
Well, no, I mean, prepare for that. So how we would do it is, we will monitor the pressure. We don't want the pressure to get below 30 PSI, all right? So what we'll do is we'll say if it's taken a little longer, we will turn the pumps back on, pressurize the system again, and then shut it back off to where we can maintain that pressure. So we figured it, we've got from 2 a.m. to 4:30. I know that with 4 guys in there, we'll be able to knock that out in that amount of time. So what we had budgeted just to replace the original pump was $40,000. So with the March and July shutdown, it cost $3,000, and then we rebuilt pump 2 when we did that one isolation valve. So it was $4,600. The new pump is $20,000. The shutdown and with the new isolation valves and installing that pump will be roughly 10. Comes up to 37, so we will be under budget. And we would recommend doing it before we have. What'll happen if we don't do it is that coating that's occurring on the inside of where the impeller is that spins, it'll lock up. And when it locks up, the only way you can unlock it is put acid in it. So I'm glad we caught it when we did, just doing a routine maintenance on one of them.
So if some of those are, you're getting that buildup on the impeller because of the cavitation, is there any way we can, you take those out and then we can clean them and then use them again, or have them?
Oh,
in
yeah,
reserve?
that's the whole idea, is so that the other 2 that haven't been worked on, is we'll be able to take those off and take them in. And what it does is we'll take them in, we'll let them dry out in the shop, and we'll put a heater on them so it dries it out quicker. And then you just start taking a little brass ball peen hammer and you just start hitting it and it'll chip right out. And then we'll come back and put them back in. It's one of those. Now, will it happen again? No. Once we found out that was what was the cause of it, we changed the point of where we inject that chemical downstream so that wouldn't. And we haven't seen any issues. That chemical was to make sure that we don't have lead and copper issues, because we do have really clear water that comes out of the RO and it's aggressive. And we have, 2015, we exceeded the action level for lead on a couple of houses. So that's why that chemical is being added, just to make sure that doesn't occur again. So we just moved it downstream. We did a lot of field work just to see if we were maintaining a high enough pH where it wasn't aggressive still. And after 3 weeks, we're like, yeah, the system stabilized. Everything works as it was supposed to. So it won't happen again because we changed the location. So we would recommend us knocking that out.
Okay. All right. Any questions or comments? No? Nothing? Thank you. Then we'll entertain a motion.
I move to approve the water plant shutdown to install 3 isolation valves for the high-service pump station between the town of Loch Bowie and Ramey Environmental Services, not to exceed $40,000.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Cohen.
Yes.
Trustee White.
Yes.
Mayor Mahoney.
Yes.
Trustee Kovensheck.
Yes.
Trustee Westcott.
Yes.
Trustee Ott.
Yes.
Trustee Jeffrey.
Yes.
And motion
Oh,
carries.
and I did give Crystal the notice. The notice for the shutdown will go out the 1st of November with the water bills. It's got my contact information on if anybody's got any questions. In fact, last time that we did do that, I actually had like 5 calls where people was that Monday night or Tuesday night? How was that supposed to, what was that time? So people are at least listening, but the irrigation's off. That's the reason why I don't think we're going to have any issue. I know I'm the next guy, so I'm just going to stand here. So you can call that next agenda item.
Yeah. No, go sit down and then come back.
Okay.
It's all right. Now the transfer switch replacement.
Yeah, so.
Mr. Ramey.
This is down at the wastewater plant. We have a very large generator down there that in case we have power outage, that it kicks on. So what the ATS does is, it stands for automatic transfer switch. It monitors the incoming power. And if we were to lose, it's a 3-phase power. So if we lose a leg, if it drops below that magical 10% of the public service allows you, then 10%. So, 10% of 480 volts is over 500 volts. And if you go down below like 410, then you get into some issues. So what that thing does is it monitors that, and when it sees that, it automatically transfers, starts the generator up, lets it come up to speed, and then it transfers the power that's the generator's making into the main control center to be able to power the treatment plant. So when the guys were just observing it, they noticed that it wasn't transferring correctly. We've had a couple issues out there this last few months, losing power. I don't know if that had anything to do with it, but electricity, especially high voltage, is one of those things. If it shuts off and comes back on, you might not know what the heck might not come back on. Just because of voltage is kind of, it wants to magnetize everything, so sometimes it happens. So we had Generator Source, who they come out twice a year and service all the generators, because we have a portable one for the lift station in case it went down, the booster station up at Silver Peaks. If one of the generators didn't work, we have a portable unit that can get us by. So we solicit quotes from generator service providers in the spring to where we get 2 service calls a year. One where they just do a normal check, make sure everything's working, and then the second visit is a full-blown, where they actually disconnect the power, they change the oil, they do everything like that, and then they analyze the oil. So Generator Source is who our contractor is. So they came out and said it's shot, it's got some kind of a fault in it. So this is definitely an unanticipated cost. Nobody knows when that's going to happen. There is money in the budget to handle it because we didn't do some CIP projects. So the cost of it's $17,000, and it is, you'll just pay once Generator Source comes out. They'll put it on their normal bill that they would do when they were servicing it. I'd recommend us definitely fixing that.
All right, questions or comments for Mr. Ramey on this one? I only have one. Is there gonna be a day where you come up to this podium and you don't ask for money?
Yeah, I can run around in the plant.
All right, I'll entertain a motion.
I move to approve purchasing and installing the replacement ATS in an amount.
Skip
sorry,
Chief and went to you first and then came back to Chief. That way you didn't have to leave the podium.
So, unless anybody's got anything special about the report, any specific questions, just, letting you know. We did start seeing people go back to work because flow kind of dropped a little bit. It was dry in September, so we didn't have any infiltration. I would like to point out we improve that dewatering machine every week. The guys, it's like a game to see who can get the driest cake of sludge off of the machine. Because you can see different from last year and this year, it's almost the same amount of gallons, but twice as many tons. And that's when we're really getting our money's worth. You know what I mean? For hauling good dry sludge. We were just talking about the power. Well, the 13th, we at 7:45, everything shuts off. A bird landed on one of the fuses on the MCC and it fried it. And so we had to call United Power to come out to replace that fuse for us. Water production, that'd be like on the 3rd, 4th page. You could see how dry it was compared to last year. Even though we had more 90-degree days last year, but we had a drier or hotter September. So it was 8 million gallons more this month. And some of that could be a little bit of construction water, but generally that's everybody just using their water. Other than that, I also will provide our CIP projects. We're just waiting to see how things move with DR Horton, where we can start figuring out when we need to put that tank. I think that's one of my most important things is to get another storage tank up. So hopefully we can get something worked out with them pretty soon.
Great. Questions or comments for Mr. Ramey?
Oh, and if you want to tour the facilities, come on down. Just let me know. I'm more than happy to take anybody, especially now that, it's cooling off a little bit. You're not out in the middle of the sun. No, it's, I will tell you, I won't take you into where the preliminary treatment is, because that's where the raw sewage comes in.
Yeah.
And we keep people out of.
On the warm days, it's really not the best place.
No, but it's it's actually COVID. I mean,
Yeah.
you're more likely to get it in that room than anywhere else. But anyway, the other ones, as soon as the sewage hits the where all the microorganisms are, literally within minutes, everything's gone.
It's in the clarifier? Or?
Yeah, well, the big brown, the chocolate milk tanks.
Oh, yeah, the big
As soon as it gets
tanks.
in the chocolate milk tanks, the organisms
There's
in there
nothing
eat
pleasant
everything.
about that. You can, yeah.
Now you're never gonna have chocolate milk again.
All right, thanks. All right. Oh, no Public Works here. Did you want to throw anything in for Public Works, or?
Well, it's day 2 and we miss him already, certainly. Hopefully he's getting along well with the city of Brighton. I still don't know who we're getting from the city of Brighton in return for the city of Brighton
I know
stealing Mr.
we keep
Johns.
shipping them our guys.
I can share with you, I mentioned in my report that we've divided up a number of the things that Mark was doing. But the chief will be providing primary supervision for the public works staff. So the chief is taking on more than others. But if you have a question about a public works issue, I'll send out to you who's doing what on the public works side, in case that's of interest to you. In the meantime, if you have a question, you can call the chief, you could call me, and we'll help you sort it out.
Okay. All right. Chris Kennedy, Community Development.
Thank you, Mayor. Members of the board, you do have a copy of my report, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have. I do have some highlights, though, I'd like to share. First, as you can see, Aspen View Homes continues to make progress in Lock Buoy Station. We've now issued, I believe, 25 building permits for new homes in that first phase, and their contractors, you may have noticed, are close to completing the infrastructure for the next phase. So what that means is they'll be able to keep building out throughout this year through 2022, and then hopefully into 2023 as well. Also wanted to mention that staff is making progress on the FRICO annexation and headquarters site plan project. You may recall that project had been on hold for some time, but it's active again, and hopefully will be ready for board consideration early next year. And then finally wanted to mention that over the last few weeks, we've been talking with developers that are interested in different properties north and east of the Blue Lake subdivision for more residential development. So continue providing them information and hope to see applications for development from them very soon. One other thing, wanted to point out a slight change in format in your packet. You may remember there was one map, development map before. I did separate that into 2 maps. We've got a lot going on, and so it was getting pretty cluttered, and so what I've done is included one map that contains projects that are currently under review and under construction, and then that second map there on the back with the items in yellow contains projects that are still speculative. We're talking to them, trying to get them to come in with an application, but they haven't submitted. So I just wanted to clarify there with that.
Thank you for that. I like that addition. I like knowing that heads up. Anyone have any questions or comments? Trustee Ott?
Go ahead first.
Oh.
Okay, I'll go. I just have a really quick question. This is the first time I've seen mention of the fact that they're looking at putting some sort of a monument for Silver Peaks. And I was just curious, like the exact location, is that going to be on Freestone at the entrance there, or is it at 50th? Because in here, it says northeast corner, CR2 and North 50th Avenue, I think.
That may be a mistake. I believe it is Freestone. I can double check that though in the permitting information and provide that.
All right, that'd be awesome, just because that's something that residents have asked for years and
Sure.
have always been told that was never going to happen, so that would make us
Well,
happy.
that should be under construction at any time. We have approved the permit, so.
That's great, thank you.
Yeah.
So you say the FRICO annexation is proceeding. Have they changed their position on their 40-year deal, or are we still fighting that?
The list is getting shorter of items we have not reached agreement on tentatively, and I believe that is one of the items that is still outstanding that we're working on. Our goal would be for staff and the applicant to reach an agreement, certainly ultimately up to the board to make the final decision. But we would prefer to work those out, so at least we're in agreement before we present the application. But I think that's one of the items that's still outstanding, isn't it?
I think it is. I think that's correct, Brian. It is outstanding. I think that we might be able to reach an agreement on that, though. I think the idea of a 20-year timeframe's been floated, and so we've kind of gone back and forth on that. But as I mentioned, we're making progress, but we're not quite there yet.
Okay, so they have shown a flexibility from them, because last time they were totally intransigent on that position.
No, we had a great meeting with them a couple of weeks ago, and they've come off a couple of different, what were previously difficult positions on a number of different matters. So,
Good, thank you.
Other comments? Any updates on Road 2?
Our best information now is that the bridge work will still occur next month. The remaining road widening project will occur next year.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you. All right. Next item, Mr. McBroom.
Thank you, sir. Happy to answer any questions about the report in the packet dated October 12th. A few items of note. Many thanks to Crystal Sanchez for stepping into the role of acting town clerk once again. Very grateful. Certainly grateful to the chief for helping us out in the Public Works department. We have a great team. The Public Works staff has a great attitude. They're not happy about losing their manager, but great attitudes, and it's a good time of year when we're not quite as busy. There was mention earlier of a fee schedule that hadn't been updated since 2011. The town's employee handbook has not been updated since 2011. We expect to be presenting that to you before the end of the year. That's another important update to help us function well. And I think those were the key. I do mention in here the Burlington Northern Santa Fe Railroad, the large intermodal facility that they have proposed between Lochbuie and Hudson. That's continuing to take shape. We met with them today. They think they would like to begin starting through the approval process next year. So we'll be sharing with you more information in the coming months about that project. A little bit unclear which community between Lochbuie and Hudson, which portions of that facility will be located in. We're working in partnership with the town of Hudson. The last thing we want to do is be arguing with our neighbors about where to site the facility and which community it would annex into. Certainly an important project, and looks to be gaining a bit of steam. So happy to answer any questions the board might have.
I don't see postings yet for the Public Works Director or the Town Clerk. What's the plan and timeline for that?
Great questions. The Town Clerk position is a little fresher, so we're taking a look at that job description, and Crystal's helping us with that. We are about to post, it might even be tomorrow, a new position called Town Engineer. We believe we're at a size as a community where having an engineer on staff would be a tremendous benefit to us, especially with big projects like the one I just mentioned coming, and the infrastructure needs that we have to continue to grow the town's infrastructure to manage growth as it happens. We believe it's a good time for that, and we have a way to cover the additional costs that would come with an engineer. That would be a higher paid position than Mr. John's position. So our goal is to post that position and see if we can attract interest in hiring an engineer. The town clerk position will lag a little bit behind that, so we don't have a date yet when we'd like to post that.
Anyone else? All right. Thank you. And now we'll go to mayor and trustee comments. Trustee Ott.
Thanks for getting on the repairs on 4. I appreciate it, because that was a pretty big disaster over there. And then I will be on vacation starting Sunday. I may or may not be back for the November 2nd meeting. I will email you and let you know. That's all I have.
There's no meeting on November 2nd. The board had previously decided,
Election day. Makes it easy.
so the
I
next,
won't be here anyhow.
next meeting is not till November 16th.
Yeah. All right, trustee Jeffrey?
I enjoyed attending the Southeast Weld Chamber of Commerce banquet a couple weekends ago. That was a good time. It is always a good opportunity to network with other folks in our community. We have a library board meeting tomorrow, and so hopefully I'll have an update about that, and I have a Dr. Cog meeting after that, so I'll have an update for you about that at our November 16th meeting. I do have a question about point of order, and this might be more for our town attorney to address, but I feel when we have made a motion and a second, per Robert's Rules of Order, there should be an opportunity for discussion, and we're not providing that opportunity, and I was curious if the other trustees had interest in that, and I certainly do, and would have an interest in having an opportunity to have discussion. So I just wanted to bring that up. Thank you.
Trustee Westcott?
I have nothing tonight. Thank you, Mayor.
Trustee Cohen?
I don't have anything.
Trustee White?
I just wanted to touch base and see where we are with the fire chief. So I keep reading the email that he sent, and that's a,
Let me stop you right there. We're about to go into executive session, so we're going to
Oh.
have a discussion.
all right. I
Anything else?
take that back. Thank you.
All right. Trustee Kovencheck?
I just wanted to take this opportunity to thank everybody for appointing me, and hopefully I will not let you down.
Right. Oh, you're never going to let us down. It's the people sitting out there. They're the ones who, come knocking on your door. But at any rate, I just wanted to address that. Trustee Jeffrey, at any time we have any motion on the floor, you have the opportunity to speak, to open the dialogue. That is your individual, each and every one of you's individual right to do so. I'm not going to stop and go, oh, let's have a discussion. If you have something, by all means, call a point of order and move forward. And, you can have the discussion, we can open it up. It's always available. That's your right, just for the new board member.
What might someone say?
Well, you just say, point of order, and then it's incumbent upon me to identify you and allow you to speak. You now own the floor, and you can make the comments, you can start a conversation, and that's, same thing with point of informations. At any time, you can call that out, and you have the floor. So, at any rate, did you have anything else?
I don't want to feel rude, like
No,
if I
no,
jump
no.
over
No,
the
it's-
top of you and you're moving forward.
No.
And so I've been
and
hesitant to do so.
Never feel that way. That's,
Okay.
yeah,
Appreciate that.
yeah. All right, and with that, a motion to go into executive session?
I move to go into executive session pursuant to CRS Section 24-6-402, Parens 4, Parens B, with town council for legal advice on code enforcement matters.
Second.
Motion and second, roll call, please.
Trustee Jeffrey?
Yes.
Trustee White?
Yes.
Mayor Mahoney?
Yes.
Trustee Kovencheck?
Yes.
Trustee Ott?
Yes.
Trustee Westcott?
Yes.
Trustee Cohen?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, and the motion carries. The time is now 7:33, and we will adjourn from this room and move to the next and take a little break.
Maureen? I believe Brian's going to make a phone call to you.
Well, I think,
Yes.